Good morning.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
What other languages?
Morning.
What other language can you speak?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Bonjour,
Oui, oui,
bonjour.
oui, oui. Let's just zoom in a little bit here because we're a bit too far out there, aren't we?
What are you doing?
Trying to zoom us in a bit, look.
There we go. You're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah,
there we
because
go.
people complain they can't see your beautiful face enough. So
One more. One zoom.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another show here with Richie and Rogue Unfiltered. We're really excited about today.
Because we're really unfiltered.
We are, yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be unfiltered today because we have got some explosive things to share with you. Yeah, we really have. But of course, breaking right now has been that the Iran has been, what's it called? The US and Israel have attacked Iran. That's happened just now. Breaking news just came in as we came into the studio. So there's a lot of that going to be on the news rounds today. But we're not here to talk about that today on the brunch show. Because
but keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really, really important because this can affect us here because now Iran has been attacked. We have sleeper cells over here, and it is so important to make sure that you keep yourself safe and you be extra vigilant because there is going to be a war. Not that we've induced this, but there's going to be a war because we've allowed it. Labour has allowed it.
Yeah, and I think what many people are concerned about, of course, with the demographical change here in the United Kingdom, we've seen so many Muslims and Islamists in this country. Some are very decent people, but of course, their religion comes before anything else. And if you attack a nation or a country where Islam is the predominant form of civilization, then of course they live in here as well. They can turn us. I think there's some figures were out. You read some figures out to me this morning, Rogue, didn't you, about that? That we've got so many people in this country that will turn on us as British citizens because
read it to you.
Yeah, for the simple reason, their countries are being attacked. It happened after Iraq. It's going to happen now with Iran. This is going to be bigger than Iran, actually, than Iraq was. So there's a lot going on there. So we're going to come to that story, but we've got a lot to get through, as you know, because we are fast approaching the Senedd elections in 69 days. And of course, these are crucial times for Wales right now. They really, truly are. What was that figure, Rogue, you read out?
So there are 4 million Muslims in the UK, not including the illegals. So if just 10% retaliate, that's 400,000 Muslims ready to fight. Mm-hmm. That's quite serious, actually.
Absolutely.
And the other part is actually about, thanks to our government, the country only has 180k military, of which only about 21k are combat proficient. With 8k of those overseas, you also only have a total of 198 police. 198k police. Look, we could be in trouble.
Yeah, we could be indeed. So we're just going to get into the show. We've got a lot to get through. So just bear with us today. We're going to try and do this calmly and constructively, but there's a lot to talk about. Just want to mention a few things before we do, though. Don't forget now, every Tuesday nights we do the what's called Welsh Politics, where we cover what's going on at the First Minister's questions. And of course, leading up to the Senedd elections, this is going to be crucial because we need to know what the parties stand for, their manifestos, what they're promising to deliver for the Welsh people. As you know, we're very passionate about Wales itself. So every Tuesday night we'll be doing that. So please make sure you put your notification on for that as well.
Yeah.
Speaking about elections, this week.
So yesterday we had the results, did we not?
We did indeed.
And Gorton and Denton, it was an outstanding Green win. That was, did you expect that?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I thought Reform had a chance. I think some of the comments made by Matt Goodwin were distasteful, referring to British people only being white. I think that's not a very wise thing to say. I think I worked against him. Nevertheless, I think if you combine the Labour and Conservative vote together, they dropped massively. The Conservatives took 706 votes. That is unheard of. Now, this seat has always been Labour since its existence, right? And they took like 9.3% of the vote, or 9,000 votes, I should say, 25.4%. So if you look at what they won by 4,000 votes. Now, the argument a lot of people are saying is this was a bloc Muslim vote. That's what a lot of people are saying. So you can see the numbers on there, folks. The Greens won by 4,000. And if you recall, the video that was going out there quite a bit was she was really playing on the Muslim community to vote for her.
Well, she was dancing in the street. She was actually dancing. That's Bangor, isn't it? You're literally dancing outside and about, and everybody's kind of like,
in Urdu.
Yeah.
With a bunch of Muslims.
Yeah. I mean, that's a way to win people over, isn't it?
Well, certainly in that community, there's two sides of Gorton and Denton. Actually, you've got an affluent side, and you've got the other side where Islam is very strong as well. There's a strong demographic from there. So obviously they pulled in those votes. And Matt Goodwin, obviously he was not happy with the result. Listen to what he had to say.
That was not Matt Goodwin.
That was not Matt Goodwin.
You've got to go down to the videos.
Yeah, here we go.
Matthew Goodwin, you hope to be Reform's 9th MP. What went wrong? Because it wasn't even close.
Sectarianism. That's what happened. We more than doubled our vote. We're in Labour's backyard. We're the second political force in this seat. We have planted a flag in Northern England. You'll have seen the reform boards up and down this constituency. More than 10,000 people voted for us. We can go on to Labour constituencies across Northern England, into the Red Wall, into Wales. We can win those seats. We will win those seats. Again, the Greens can only pull this kind of result off in a small number of seats. We can do this everywhere. Our ground game is the best game in British politics. We're not resorting to sectarian politics to get us over the line. I think we've run a very professional campaign. I think we've connected with the local people. You know, again, not many British people want legalised crack cocaine and heroin, open borders, scrapping our nuclear deterrent. The reason the Greens have won here, let's be honest, is exactly what that report was warning about a few hours ago. Family voting, otherwise known as sectarianism. Now, we can have a conversation in this country about sectarianism and what it's doing to our democracy, or we can pretend it's not happening. It's clearly happening.
He makes a really good point, though, doesn't he? I mean, it is family voting, and you have the father figure, the man, whether it's because obviously they live in communities, right? Yeah. And so they have mom, dad, then they have the children, then they have the grandchildren, and they all live together. Mm-hmm. And actually, right, there's one kind of side of it that I'll say actually is quite good because they all look after each other. But the other flip side is then it becomes an in-house job and everybody has to kind of go ahead and vote by what Daddy says, or Granddaddy.
And Nigel Farage has raised this. He's written to the Electoral Commission, and apparently both the Electoral Commission and the police are now investigating potential voter fraud. Because, of course, dragging your family in and telling them how to vote at the ballot box is not democratic. So that's ongoing. So we'll bring you more on that as news breaks. Let's go back to the result for a minute, Rogue, shall we? Because a lot of people on social, on X and everything else, you don't win campaigns on social media. It doesn't matter how wonderful your videos are, how clever you put it out there. You win by, being not just out on the streets, but having a credible policies in place, having the coverage from mainstream media, which what some of the fringe parties didn't have. Now, Advance UK, our friend Nick Buckley stood there and he only took 155 votes. 54 votes, 154 votes.
Which is at 0.4%.
Yes, which means he would have lost his deposit of £500. But he was beaten by the monster raving loony party.
Now, so oink a lot. I mean, that's his whole, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And we need to say this. We like Nick Buckley a lot, and we feel very sad for him, actually, don't we?
Right. When I saw his video afterwards yesterday, it was very humbling because you could see that he was a broken man. You could see that he was gutted. You could see that his numbers, obviously 154 is a really poor turnout.
It's shocking. It's worse than poor. It's terrible. It's dreadful.
But I feel for him.
But then what I couldn't get afterwards is that, the kind of post kind of stuff afterwards, Ben was on X saying, oh, it's great that we stood and all that. And you had 155 votes. I mean.
So oink a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a photo with them two together and, fair play. He's sort of smiling and he's kind of, posing for the camera and giving it his best shot. But look, below and beneath that, there clearly is a man that is a little bit gutted, a little bit embarrassed, and somebody who's been defeated by a pig, a male dressed up as a pig.
Yeah. And
he's now lost his deposit.
Well, of course, and if you look at the results as well, of course, it's a big shock to Labour in particular, and the Conservatives, well, they're gone, completely gone, and the Lib Dems are irrelevant. But this was pitched as an opportunity for Advance UK to see where they would fit with the electorate, right? So they've kind of standing in our first by-election as a brand new political party with the structure that they've said they've put forward and everything else, but only to take 154 votes. Now, this is a man who is very well known in his community. He has received an MBE for his work. He's worked with young people. He's worked with vulnerable people, homeless people. He has set up charities. The list of what he has done in that constituency is huge.
He's
far
done
more,
a lot. And therefore, that you would think that the kind of voting system would be that there was this reciprocal, we've seen what you've done here, therefore we will vote for you.
Yeah.
Is it the fact that he wasn't on the ground enough? What's the reasoning?
Well, I don't think he was on the ground quite a bit, actually, but he was on social media a lot and posting videos. Now, my take on this, Advance UK, premature. Completely premature, not ready, not got the structure, not got the plan, got the ideas, got the mission statement, which I think the mission statement is fantastic. Freedom of speech, sovereignty, democracy, equality in the law, absolutely.
It's everything we stood for.
Absolutely.
So they will do.
The problem is that they can't read the political tea leaves. They don't see what's going on politically in the landscape. And as a result, it's poor judgment to have stood in that by-election. Now, that is my humble opinion. Now, we got good friends who stood there with him and went and supported him. So this is not against them. And to all those that campaigned, and I know what it takes to stand. So congratulations on putting your head above the parapet. But I think Advance UK made a massive, massive mistake in standing Nick Buckley in that constituency. Of course, that's not for me to decide. That's for the leader, Ben Habib, to decide. Now, of course, we've closer to home, Rogue, we've got some things to consider here, and because we've got the Senate elections coming up, and a lot has been going on. And we've done some shows here where we've told people, why we stepped down from Advance UK. So we're not going to go over that again. What we believed Advance UK's chances here in Wales were or are not. But yeah, a lot's been happening since, isn't it? So do you want to give us a little timeline?
So obviously we left, and we left for good reason. We left because there was a lot of in-house issues, and we wanted to be honest, because when you left, you said about it was for personal reasons. Now those personal reasons were that actually in-house it wasn't working, and it was too messy, it was too chaotic. And, one person was saying one thing, another person was saying another, and nothing was kind of getting done. And then obviously when the new national director came in, the whole shift, it was a massive, massive, monumental shift. And then things had to happen. So then obviously in the background, there was this new Welsh leader who was being appointed that we didn't know of. And this new Welsh leader is coming in, and he is really taking this to a new level. Now, there is a lot of unprofessionalism going on. There is actually a lot of, I would say, it's alarmist behaviour, because there is a man who is trying to push for advance in the Senate. Now, it just... I can't compute that, because we'd actually agreed with Ben. There had been a massive conversation about in 2026, do we go for the Senate? This was last year. So in June last year, the discussion was happening a year beforehand. And we were discussing, do we go in? And the answer was no, it cannot happen. We will not do it on the premise and the proviso that actually it is too premature.
Yeah.
So there is a plan. And the plan started, and I just want to reiterate this, the plan started last year in June when we first got on board.
Yeah, and that plan was to get ready for the general election in 2029, because we didn't have the numbers, which we still don't in Wales the last time I was involved with having access to the information, which was taken off us in the middle of a tour. We realized the membership numbers weren't strong enough. We didn't have enough money. And of course, by then we had no policies. We still don't have any policies, okay? Because of devolution, it's slightly different here. There's 2 draft policies being published in February on culture and immigration, which many of you have seen that event and attended it. But to go into an election when you need, in 16 constituencies, you need 16 candidates at least, but you can put 6 on each list under the PR system. And you need to take a percentage of the votes for that party to win the seat. That's how it works here in Wales, okay? Now, unfortunately, and I'm going to say this gentleman, Peter Prosser, is completely politically illiterate. He has not got an understanding of how politics works here in Wales. Because if you look at all the data, the polling and everything else, I can tell you now, Advance UK have 0 chance of winning 1 single seat in Wales, which means a lot of people are going to lose their deposits. They're going to be very disappointed, and you're going to open the door to Plaid Cymru. And this Plaid Cymru will be similar to the Greens, okay? A lot of policies are crossover. And do we really want Plaid Cymru to be in power in the Senedd? Or would you rather have a reform government that you might not agree with? You might not like Nigel Farage, you might not like Dan, the new leader, you might not agree with everything Reform have done because you've been hurt by them or whatever. But irrespective, if you put your country before your own party and don't go with blind loyalty, you should do what is right for the country, not for your ego, not for your name to be known or anything like that. In fact, I'm going to bring up the data and show you the latest polls. This is one of the best polls that is out there, actually, because it pulls in all of the polls across the spectrum. And as you can see, this is a two-horse race between Plaid Cymru and Reform. Advance UK are not even on the polling data. They don't even appear there. In fact, any further research you may want to do yourself will reveal to you that they actually are not even very well known in Wales at all. So in other words, we have a party that is now looking to stand candidates in the Senedd when actually we don't know what their policies are. All we've heard is stuff on X saying, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this. How are you going to do it? Now, Peter Prosser, I'm going to show these videos, Rogues. It's important people know because he's been talking about us on interviews. So it's about time we showed the people what he's been saying and others, and we exposed it.
I just want to say, though, right, there is no bitterness from what we're saying. We have a right to respond. And the reason why we're wanting to respond is because there is a lot of fabrication and there quite clearly an amount of lies that are coming out which do not sit well with us, to the point that we've had to write a cease and desist letter. And that is huge. We didn't want to get into a battle. We didn't want to get into a war. We wanted to tell the truth because we had a lot of people asking us the question. And it was very simple. Why have you left? And if it isn't really personal reasons, please, can you tell us? Because we, as grassroots members, have a right to know as to why you have left, because you were in a position of leadership and now you've gone. We're all feeling a bit lost. So I think it's really, really important to understand this is not a vendetta.
No.
This is not coming out of bitterness. This is actually coming out of a right to respond because we are being talked about. Most people will say, forget it, just walk on. It doesn't matter. Like you're actually exacerbating or you're adding to it. Well, no, this is actually serious, what is being said. And I'm sorry, but I cannot accept what is being said. And we have to say something back.
On that cease and desist, this was around something that was posted actually online. I'm just trying to pull this up here somewhere. I think it was a tweet. Just bear with me a second, guys.
Put your glasses on, Rich.
I can't see that far with them on, look, it's terrible. So yeah, this was an email that went out from Pete Prosser saying that the previous Wales administrator has left with all the contact groups made and the social media and participating in creating. He's refusing to hand over any of your hard work. And so at this point, I have not been able to meet you or know of the dedication that clearly many of you have put in. People are frustrated. Divisions have been created on purpose between different groups.
Right. This is actually quite a serious thing to be putting out as an email to all members. Because number one, it is not true. Number two, WhatsApp groups were created for each and every area, okay? And so we had different groups and we put them into them. And then I removed myself and made the appropriate people the admin for that group.
Volunteers, isn't it?
So, the admin of the group were all volunteers. So they are the appropriate people. So I have nothing to do with it. And actually, what I find intolerable and actually completely wrong in what is being said is that we have got access to everything. No, we don't. And they're saying that we haven't handed things over. That, again, is ludicrous on the premise that the email is going out to every single one of you. So you have got the details, you have got the database, you have got everything that you need because you're emailing every single person on your database, even the people that are no longer members and have asked to be taken off the database. Your ticker is exactly like Reforms.
Absolutely. No, I want to play you some videos. This is an interview we done recently that was sent to us because we weren't aware of it. We've never heard of this channel, so we just brought it up last night and did some research. So I'm going to play a series of clips and we're going to comment on them. So they're not all in synchronised order, but just bear with me a second. Listen to this.
The platform of advance in Wales isn't, or up until this point hasn't been great, let's say, because of prior leadership.
The platform's nothing.
Right.
Right, it is nothing.
But you've got to get out there.
Yeah, you've got to get out there. But the platform, what is it? Where is it?
Sorry, can you just play that once more? I just want you to go to the first 10 seconds. Play that once more.
The platform of advance in Wales isn't, or up until this point hasn't been great, let's say, because of prior leadership.
The platform's nothing.
Because of prior leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just get this right. So the platforms that were all set up, so the X, the Facebook, you know, everybody did
and the touring,
everything, and the touring and the meeting.
Have you seen Pete Pross with any members?
I have not seen him on any videos with any members. No. I've not even seen him doing any meetings.
Should we show him the platform? Yeah. Okay. So let's have a look then. So this is just a couple of things where we were.
This is us on the ground.
Yeah, that was Carmarthen. It was a lovely time you had there.
Yeah. This is us on the ground.
I was in Swansea as well. Yeah. There we are. And another one here as well.
This is us on the ground.
Yeah, there's so many.
And this is also us.
Our friends from Northern Ireland as well. There's Aileen Quinton there. So these are just some images.
And just us on the ground.
On the ground again, of course. And we did a Christmas party as well, which Ben didn't show up to. Paul Burgess did, and Jim Ferguson. There's Paul Burgess, who's now resigned from the college. And actually, we got a video as well, to go with that to show the Christmas party.
Yeah. The
quality isn't good, but give you an idea, an indication of the kind of buzz that we had and we were creating around Wales when we were.
To see that movie.
So let me play that clip again.
The platform of advance in Wales isn't, or up until this point hasn't been great, let's say, because of prior leadership.
The platform's nothing.
Right.
Right.
The platform's nothing. So I believe that grassroots is very, very important. And I've said this again and again and again. When you are out on the ground and you are meeting everybody, you get to see the beauty, you get to see the sadness, you get to see the brokenness of each and every single person in Wales and the membership, right? So whilst you are dealing with people, I've said this before, you become a teacher, you become a counsellor, you become a doctor, you become everything that they actually need, because you need to help them, love on them, and understand what they've gone through to feed back into main HQ to be able to talk about policies and what needs to happen.
Now, here's a very revealing video again, right? I want you to listen to this because you need to hear this.
If you keep truth in the centre of the party, I don't know where you can go wrong.
Well, I don't. But that's why you have to have truthful people.
Yeah.
Right? And people that aren't truthful are removed.
True.
And we get other people into place that will be truthful, that will be honest, they will deal with the people properly, you know, and not lie.
Right.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm angry.
Okay, you don't say anything.
Because that's an accusation.
Okay, but he's been very clever in not saying names. But as you can talk about, you'll see what she spoke about, which was the prior leadership. Okay, so there are a lot of insinuations and there are a lot of accusations and allegations without naming names. So it's all passive aggressive, diverting tactics. You know, we can see what everything is going on here. Now, the truth is that interview was, I believe, I mean, I can't say categorically, but I believe it was just a poking the bear to try and get a reaction out of us. Now, we are trying to not react. We are trying to come back wholesomely and offer evidence, because Paul Burgess, the one thing I've learned from him is, where's the evidence? So I am going to show you, and we are going to show you the evidence which we have. We were on the ground. We were working with our teams. We were working with each and every single member. We were listening to them. We were helping them. We were doing everything that we could to feed back into HQ as to what was going on in Wales. And please let me tell you something that you all need to know. Wales is a country, not a region.
Absolutely right there, Rogue. But according to Advance UK's website, I find this extraordinary. Just remove this a second and get out of the studio. Stop screen. I want to show you this because it's important. Just bear with me a second, folks. I think it's this one here. Right, okay, share. Right, okay, just bear with me. So as you will see here, from their website, this is Advance UK. I'll just bring it up larger so you can see, Rogue. As you can see,
I can't see.
Wales, under their website, is classed as a region. One of the things that I advocated for constantly with Ben is Wales is not a region, we are a country. And if you treat Wales as a region, the people of Wales will absolutely not vote for Advance UK. We made this very, very clear to him. And of course, now we have this new gentleman in place, let's remove this a second, put us back on, who obviously thinks that within 69 days, he can get candidates vetted, ready to stand in election when nobody has ever even heard of Advance UK in Wales. Because let me tell you how we worked. All those meetings you just saw us doing there, that's the plan. The plan was this. When we spoke with Ben in June last year, we said, we'll travel around Wales, we will build the party up from the ground, we'll get regions sorted out, 4 regions within Wales. We presented him with a business plan. We then said we would launch branches, which we had ready to go, by the way. So we're going into an election, Senate elections right now in May. Well, I'm not, but they are in 69 days, and they don't even have any branches. And he's looking for candidates. He's begging for candidates. And in fact, what's really pissed me off is that he is enticing people to stand as candidates for money. And I'm going to show you this video because I think people need to know this, Rob, and because this is really, really shocking, absolutely shocking. Let me just find it, pull it up here. It's
one thing I want to ask you, just again, it's a controversial.
Go for it. We're on it now, right?
Is I know why not today? Because I want to put people's minds at rest with some of this stuff, right?
Sure.
Is that Advance yourself have been advertising for people to stand for Advance?
Absolutely,
and it's wound people up. Right?
Yeah, it's great.
Because why do you think that people are so annoyed that you're offering a wage to stand for Advance?
We're not offering a wage to stand for Advance. It's a good job. It pays exceptionally well. Why shouldn't it be you?
So when she says it's annoyed people, he's actually reveling in the annoyance, which again is an antagonist. It is almost, I don't know if he's paid, but he said he isn't, but he's a paid agitator. You know, he's not listening to grassroots. He's saying, yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's great. It's great. Please, can you play that clip once again?
I can't. My mic has gone off. It's red. I don't know what's happened here. It's died or not. Let's clip again. One second.
One thing I want to ask you, just again, it's a controversial.
Go for it. We're on it now, right?
Is I know why not today? Because I want to put people's minds at rest with some of this stuff, right?
Sure.
Is that Advance yourself have been advertising for people to stand for Advance?
Absolutely.
And it's wound people up, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Because why do you think that people are so annoyed that you're offering a wage to stand for Advance?
We're not offering a wage to stand for Advance. It's a good job. It pays exceptionally well. Why shouldn't it?
There you go. He says one thing and does another. And our argument has always been, this is about the love of Wales, our beloved Wales. This is about the love and the commitment to the people, not trying to draw people in and entice people with a wage. He even, I think, has edited one of his videos or has actually deleted it, where he talks about it being 76 or 77,000, 79,000 for you to come in. It's a good wage. Come on, it's 79,000. Roll up, roll up. He was like a car salesman, a dodgy car salesman at that.
Yeah, but he believes God's instructed him.
Because God has given me the ability to see what's coming, because he's given me the strength to look at this and see the disasters that they are trying to bring on our country.
Yes.
He's turned into Elijah the prophet by the looks of it. Anyway, and here's another one I want to show you as well.
Telling how this election is going to pan out. But there is going to be one really good party there with really good people, and that's going to be Advance UK.
Right.
So, you know, that's who we are. That's what we're doing. That's what we're standing for. Yeah. And late to the game, I'd say we were late to telling people that we were going to do this.
No. We weren't late telling people. We told people that we weren't going to stand. We told people throughout the whole of the 6-7 months that we were not going to stand. We had said that 2026 was an absolute no-go. Advance UK should not stand. Ben agreed. We also told the national director. He just said, thank you for your feedback, basically, and butted it off. We butted it. However, we had talked about next year in 27 for the councillors.
Absolutely.
We talked about, actually, that gives us 2 years to actually generate some momentum, to actually get advance known in Wales. So 2027, let's hit with the councillors in preparation for 2029. What have they done? They are now deciding to stand candidates in 2026 in 69 days. 69 days, right? And that, for me, is hugely like premature, because let's look at the example with Peter Oinky. What the hell was his name? Oinky. Oinky.
The Gordon and Dent is a perfect example.
That's what I mean.
They let the Greens in. So what Advance UK are going to do, they're going to split the vote. And I know people say they'll split the vote. I get that, right? But what you're going to do is you are going to give, because at the moment, Reform and Plaid are neck and neck, but Plaid are just ahead of them in most of the polling. So if people don't vote for Reform in Wales, now, by the way, I'm not paid by Reform. I don't work for any political party. Neither of us do. Okay, we're completely independent. But we want what's best for the people of Wales. And it certainly is not Plaid Cymru. But what Advance Wales will do is they will open up the door for Plaid. Now, he was asked about candidates, actually, Rog. Should we just show this, yeah?
So how many candidates have we got?
So we have candidates for every constituency here.
Oh.
So there's 16 constituencies.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we don't have enough to field 6 candidates for each space. We are currently still recruiting candidates.
Right.
And we've got some great people going online.
Yeah.
So how many we will actually stand at the end of the day, I don't know, but we plan to stand fully across Wales.
Oh, because I was of the understanding that you guys were like, there was very little of you and you weren't in...
You've been listening to a few funny people.
But this is what I mean, is because I think there's so much misinformation that I don't think the people really understand what's happening in the background.
No, exactly.
So how many candidates?
They don't have enough yet, and they're recruiting, but it's all great people online. Online.
And they don't have money either. According to him, there's no money. Well, there is no money for to win an election here in Wales. You need between £2 to £5 million. It is stand 6 candidates in each constituency under the 16 super constituencies. How it works, okay? So
explain that a bit more.
So you have 16, they've changed the boundaries, right? We used to have more than that, but we now have 16 constituencies called super constituencies. And you have a list system, so people vote for the candidate in the party, and you have 6 candidates in each constituency. And they have to take a percentage of the vote. Normally, to win a seat is between 12 to 15% to win a vote. The Green Party don't have any seats in the Senate at the moment at all whatsoever. The membership allegedly is around 6,000, and they'll be polling quite low. Advance are polling nowhere, 0 in Wales, because again, the plan that we had agreed with Ben was to build the party up from the ground up, find credible candidates, train them, vet them, but also establish strong branches in communities, set up the regions so that people knew who Advance UK were, not just on X or on YouTube or on Facebook, but out there where it matters the most. But unfortunately, people are completely deluded and politically illiterate. And I've been speaking to a number of people that have been working in politics in Wales here for over 2 decades. And all of them, who are sensible people who know the political landscape, agree that this would be a ridiculous decision for candidates for Advance to stand in Wales, would be political suicide. And I want to give you this warning. All of you consider to be candidates, do what you must, do what you may. But I'm telling you, you are going to be very disappointed and you are going to lose your deposit, and you could be responsible for letting Plaid Cymru win here in Wales. Is that really what you want to see? Pushing for Welsh independence, mass, nation of sanctuary here in Wales, trans ideology being taught in schools. Is that the kind of thing you want to see happening here in Wales, where our education system's already been perverted by perverts? That getting even worse under Plaid Cymru. Plaid Cymru, who want to take us back into the European Union, part of the customs union, and the single market, and Europe or Yoreth, whatever his name is, has said that on record on many occasions. Because if we consider tactically voting, then the sensible thing to do is not to stand candidates. And this is a stern one. Ben, I have written to you, I have messaged you, you have not replied. I hope you get to hear this video. You are a fool if you stand candidates in Wales. We had this discussion, my friend. I hold you in the highest regard. You're a great guy, but you're not listening to the right people. And you are going to ruin Wales. And I will not allow it to happen on our watch. Because we do have a voice here in Wales. And we will stand up for the people of Wales. Because we care about Wales. So please, with all due respect, do not stand candidates in Wales. You will absolutely ruin the political landscape here in Wales for a long time to come. And you will never, ever be forgiven for it. And go to some comments. We've got some videos as well, haven't we?
Yeah, so the college was not what we were told it was. Restore has a direct democracy platform for members posting policy ideas and voting. I'm presuming that will stay in place for the political party movement. I can guarantee... I guarantee no candidate will be put forward for the Senate. Let's have a look. Quite frankly, it's a shit show. I'd prefer to vote for a native Brit. Don't you just love human nature? Advanced UK. Are you talking about Peter Prosser? He's an absolute Ben Never man. Advanced UK are finished. Buckley is a weak-sounding man. Honours from the monarchy are a detractor and not a selling point. Advanced UK have been rejected. They were being rejected within months of launch. The membership numbers told the story. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to say this, right? Because you don't take credit, right? Because I was the leader by name and face. It was my face. But you, the sacrifice, the effort, the work that you put into building up Advanced here in Wales was second to none. And I've worked in politics for a long time, and I've worked with campaigners, and I've had all kinds of people working for me in the past. But you have excelled beyond anything or anyone I've ever seen. And my mic's gone off again, so I'll probably have to pick up off yours. I think it's the battery. And I want to say this because it's important people understand. And the way that you were treated when you were literally struck off, removed from everything, access to the database at the time when we were in the middle of actually running a campaign, as you saw some of the photos there, up and down the country, thousands and thousands of miles, costing us thousands of pounds of our own personal finance as well. We're not asking for it back, it's fine, I'm not talking about that, it's not the point. It's the time, effort and sacrifice, but while you were dealing with your ill health, which we won't go into detail over because it's personal, you did that, we did that together. And for this gentleman now to come out and say that the prior leadership, and Faith Jarvis, if you've got anything about you, get us on your show. We'd be more than willing. In fact, Rogue will be more than willing to come on, I think, wouldn't you? And have a discussion. I'd come on if you wanted to as well, but I think you'd be better. You're much better than me. And I honestly think that this guy is so deluded that this is an ego trip in his head. And I know the people that are around him, supporting him, some of them used to be friends of mine. And I am absolutely shocked that the way this has turned out, because this person knows me very, very well. And I'm absolutely blown away by the fact that Ben, this is the important part here, Rogue. Why is Ben allowing this to happen? So this isn't about Peter Prosser as the director for Wales. This is about at the top of Advanced UK. Richard Thompson, the director. Ben Habib, the leader. The deputy leader, Tim Powers, who sent me a threatening letter. What's that, love?
You're knocking the
Sorry.
camera.
Who sent me a threatening letter of civil action for stealing data. How dare you? I sent a reply back, a cease and desist. I have not heard back from you. I wonder why that is, because I've been in touch with my brief and my solicitor. And if you as much ever accuse me, after all that we did to build up the party for the people of Wales, not for ourselves, we didn't need to do it. We had loads of other things going on. We had this show to do. We got plenty of opportunities elsewhere. People are asking us to do loads of things for them. We did it because the people in Wales deserve better, but they're not going to get it under this current leadership. And as far as I'm concerned, Advanced UK in Wales here, you are going to destroy the landscape of Wales if you stand candidates, because you will not win. You have zero chance. And under this guy's leadership, you've got no chance. I've not seen him with one single member. And when he says he's got no contacts, he's emailing all of them. And we've just shown you in the show, you can go back and have a look. The work that we put in, I feel like I have to justify this, and I shouldn't have to.
Justify it, but you're showing evidence. And the evidence is important because...
Your mic's gone off as well. I think they both died. So just bear with us, folks. I'm going to have to change the microphone. So we just ask in the comments if you can hear our mics. to charge them up. Can you hear our mics at all, guys? Just let us know if you can hear us, because our microphones have just died. So please let us know in the comments quickly if you can.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, guys? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, okay. Cool.
We can
Thank
hear you. So we'll have to speak loud. I think our thing's about to die. So I just want to go back because there's a lot more here, Ro, right?
Right,
So,
I just want to, can I just take over?
sorry, I know, sorry, love.
You're
Sorry.
angry, so.
But I'm passionate. It's not
yeah,
passionate.
and you have every right.
Keep that on just in case it is still working.
All right, okay, I'll just do that anyway, just in case.
Okay.
So here we go. Right, I want to go to, I don't know where I think it was this.
You have to put on screen on large.
Is that it?
Put the screen on large. Yeah, this was in relation to a tweet I posted out, didn't I?
No, just do this, please.
Yeah, okay. 1 second. Bear with us, folks.
Right. Okay, so here, if you can see, there, if you look at the X account,
They won't see it.
The Wales Advanced X account is run by Peter Prosser. And there was some comments. So where you can see the Advanced UK, so you can see Caroline Smith and Advanced UK, he actually said, if it had been organised correctly, he could have done that. Responsibility lies with someone. And then you go down where one of our moderator, Nikki, put, please remind me what Ben said. Were you even at the event? It was organised fantastically, live music, ample food, fabulous speakers and patriots from across Wales, a lovely venue, fantastic security, and not a penny cost to advance. Very important to highlight. We did it ourselves. In fact, the most amazing guy, Martin Williams, he organised it because he wanted for Ben to turn up and for Ben not to be disappointed that it didn't actually happen, because we had to cancel the Chepstow event. So what I will say is that it was organised properly and it was done. It on the day Ben cancelled.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. before the event, he cancelled. And I have to tell you, the gasp of disappointment coming from all of the people that had given up their time, their money, their energy to come and be a part of the party where they could meet Ben and have conversation with Ben went to pot. Okay. So I then insisted via text that Ben had to come online and do a link. He had to do a link because I felt that these people of Wales were going to be so disillusioned that we needed for him to show his face in some description. There was no offer of that.
No.
I had to push for that via text. And I think it's so important that you know these guys right here would never have seen Ben if I hadn't have suggested that we do it by video link. Then we had to go out and buy leads. Then we had to go out and buy microphones. Then we had to go and sort everything out to insist and ensure that you guys saw Ben via a video link. That is how disorganized it was. But we had organized absolutely properly, efficiently, effectively. We had security who had travelled from London and Wales to stand around the venue. This is absolutely absurd that somebody that wasn't there could actually have a take on what we did. Go back to them all waving. Because this...
to see that move.
Everybody that was there was sorely, sorely disappointed that he did not turn up. Now, the one thing I want to go to... Go on. What were you want to...
The platform of Advance in Wales isn't, or up until this point hasn't been great, let's say, because of prior...
I mean, again... It's just absurd, right? We've been out, we were doing tours, we were doing week by week, meeting people. And then now, absolutely, every email that came in, we had phone calls with people. Do you know what? We gave time to people. And I think that's really, really important to know that we were actually contacted by people. We would then hold a conversation with them to make sure that they were heard. And I have to tell you what people thought. They were always so impressed that they were getting phone calls, not just emails. People were astounded that we had given time to talk to the Welsh members, and they were overwhelmed. And that also induced trust. It created a bond between the leadership and the people. Yeah. Because we weren't leadership. You didn't see yourself as leadership. It was you were grassroots.
I'm a servant. I'm servant
looking
of the people.
after
Absolutely.
our members.
Yeah, let's play this clip because I'm going to put the mics on charge. This is a longer clip, Rogue, and it gives you a bit more detail.
In essence, the party only became registered a few months ago.
Right.
So it's got this huge rise, one of the fastest rises of a political party ever.
Right.
Right? It's going so quickly.
Yeah.
And, we're standing for this election so quickly.
Right.
Other parties might take, years to achieve what's been achieved in such a short period of time. But the work, the planning and the preparation has been going on for at least 10 years. Whereas people have been working everything out and coming together and working out who's good, who's bad, who shouldn't be a part of this.
Right, yeah.
And there's many people that shouldn't be part of this.
Yes, we both know
and they all want to be in politics, right?
Yeah.
So they need to get removed.
Yes.
And or left behind in other parties
Yes.
as it's happened. And the right team needs to come together. And what I'm seeing is the right team has come together to make this happen. That's truly exciting. Yeah, it really is good.
So are you personally standing for the Senedd as well?
At the moment, probably.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need to necessarily because
Yeah.
we've got all of our candidates.
You've got a lot,
right?
yeah.
So if there's good candidates and I don't need to go,
Yeah.
brilliant.
What about First Minister role?
First Minister role,
Yeah.
we've got such good candidates.
Really?
Honestly, I'm like they eclipse me. So what can I say?
But we've not heard of them.
No, because they are not candidates yet. Right? Until we declare
Right.
them as candidates, we can't declare them as candidates.
And when are you
right?
going to do that?
Well, when we register them.
How long does that take?
So that's April or something. April the 9th, is it? I think
Will
it's
you give me
registration.
first dibs of knowing who they are?
So forgive me if that date's wrong, but it's
No, it's
somewhere
right.
around there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so
yeah.
we register them as candidates, and then everybody will know they are candidates.
Okay.
But there are such great candidates. They're eclipsing me by a long shot, some of them.
Yeah.
And I consider myself to be well informed.
Yeah.
But these people are passionate. They are really, truly passionate for
But
this
do you
country.
think it's quite late in the game to have, to be announcing who will be representing First Minister role, who are the candidates? Because everybody was shouting out about how late it was in the game for Reform to announce Dan Thomas.
Well, here's the thing. Let's say we announce somebody for First Minister.
Yes.
What's the chances of us getting enough people to have the ability to have the First Minister? Because of this DeHont system and the way it breaks everything up,
Yeah.
right? I can't tell you.
Right.
I honestly can't tell you.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you what Reform's chances are.
Just make your own mind up. I mean, I can tell you what Reform's chances are. They're polling second place to Plaid. And if you stand candidates, then you're going to blow the chance of a party that is on our side of the debate, whether you like them or not, hold your nose, have to vote for them. Listen, you've got 5 years then to build up a credible party here in Wales, then to become the opposition in the next Senate elections.
See, Prosser in his interview talks about how he was ousted and booted out from Reform. So there's clearly hurt there. So when he talks about God giving him the answers and God is showing him and God is guiding him, actually, I would say that probably the hurt, the unforgiveness and the resentment, possibly, maybe, allegedly, that needs to happen for Reform is actually needing to heal because he's blocking people voting and saying that Advance has a chance when we know it doesn't.
No.
And he's actually blowing the chances of Reform. Is he an agitator? What is going on?
No, but when he stood in the Senate elections himself back in 2021, I think it is, there's the results there. You can see them on the screen. I'll just pull them up so you can see their row. Let me just take the comments off. Is that the right one? Yeah, I think
It's right at the bottom.
just forgive me a second, folks, because we've got. Let me just take this off. Bear with me. No producer. We need a producer.
Pete Prosser, there you go.
There we go. So you can see,
Reform, Pete Prosser. So when she said to him, are you going to stand? And he said, oh, yeah, maybe, but I don't feel I need to. I don't really need to. It's
He had
because
1% of the
actually he
vote.
only got 1%.
424 votes, in the Senate elections. So when it comes to being a political operator, then you need people obviously know what they're talking, know what they're doing. And I'm afraid that Advance UK have put their trust in someone who doesn't know what he's doing. I think it's going to be an absolute shower of shit here in Wales, and it's going to all come out in the wash. And do you know what? I'm not angry. I'm upset.
For whom?
For the people of Wales.
Because people could say that this is about you and your ego and you've been dented.
Well,
what would you say to them?
Well, I resigned. It was about ego. I would have stayed in power. I wasn't in power. But because the structure was wrong, because they weren't giving the people of Wales what they needed, because they weren't listening, I couldn't listen to a diktat from London-centric politicians tell me how to run Wales when I've been working in Wales for 15 years, involved in politics, and I know the constituencies and I know the people through my previous work in politics. I'm not going to work under that. And people were not listening. Now, I've got emails, I've got text messages, WhatsApp messages from Ben Habib, who agreed with me, we're not going to stand candidates because it's too early. He said, Rich, you make the decision. I did my own research. I didn't, my team did. In fact, I can't take credit for that. Our team, we had a whole team of over 15 people in Wales, volunteers, strategists. We had people involved in all kinds of operational managers. We had a director of communications. We had social media directors. We had it all. That was the platform that in that interview they referred to as the platform previous didn't know what they were doing. Sorry, what? No, we knew what we were doing.
And it was discussed, and it was held, a frank and honest discussion was held to reiterate what we felt for Wales. Now, the Voice of Wales, I hope they don't mind me saying this, have also just left Advance because they contacted Ben directly also, and Richard Thompson, from what I believe, but I definitely know they had a conversation with Ben, and they said to Ben, do not stand, we will never forgive you, the Welsh people will never forgive you, and if you actually go ahead and still stand, this is what will happen. You will never ever be able to enter Wales, because Wales is a country, not a region.
Absolutely. And the thing is as well, I found this extraordinary interview. I want you to listen to this because I kind of clipped it because I was like, that's news to me. Check this out.
In essence, the party only became registered a few months ago.
Right.
So it's got this huge rise, one of the fastest rises of a political party ever.
Right.
Right. It's going so quickly.
Yeah.
And, we're standing for this election so quickly.
Right.
Other parties might take, years to achieve what's been achieved in such a short period of time. But the work, the planning and the preparation has been going on for at least 10 years, whereas people have been working everything out and coming together and working out who's good, who's bad, who shouldn't be a part of this.
Right, yeah.
And there's many people that shouldn't be part of this.
Yes, we both know that.
And they all want to be in politics, right?
Yeah.
So they need to get removed.
Yeah.
Right. Let me ask you a very straight and frank question. If this has been going on for 10 years in the planning, why were you not made the leader straight away? If this has been going on 10 years in the planning, last year in June, when it all kicked off, and it was the motivation behind actually getting then registered with the Electoral Commission, we were in those discussions.
Yeah.
We were building up from word go. Why were you not involved?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we talking about a 10-year? I can't get my head around it. Yes, 2016 is when everything went to shit.
Well, Brexit. We had the referendum, didn't we? Brexit vote.
So but my point is, right? He's trying to say something that's not accurate.
No, there was no Advance UK 10 years ago. It was just ridiculous, absolutely absurd. So
how can you believe somebody that on an interview with a Christian interview, which is an interviewer, but is a whole Christian channel? What is it?
It's
somebody sent it to us yesterday, and we don't really know.
Yeah, I know Faith Jarvis and her husband as well. They do a small little church in the valleys, but I wasn't aware of this podcast. So we can find out more about them. I just wanted to try and find something, Rogue. I was trying to find it here. My point was this. So first of all, to stand candidates here in the Senate, right? We're not ready. There's not enough money. You can't vet everybody. There's no plan. There's no policies at all. There's 2 draft policies on the website, and literally, today I want to show some of this. He says here, planning for 10 years. How many candidates? That's it. So we want to keep Plaid Cymru out. This whole show is about keeping Plaid out of power, right? And the only way to do that is to vote for reform. It's the only way you can do it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Now, Peter said something in his interview that is not true. And the way that you attack your opponents politically is you debate their policies. You don't say things that aren't true. Listen to what he said about, and this is not me supporting Plaid Cymru, but listen to what he said about Plaid Cymru.
Plaid Cymru have decided that, and they put it there in the Senate, we want to legalise all drugs.
That is a lie. That is not in their manifesto. They want to decriminalise certain punishment when it comes to certain drugs, softer drugs, but they do not want to legalise drugs like the Greens. So if you're using those as attack lines and there's no truth in them, then of course you will be found out, because the media here in Wales, as we know, are very left-wing biased, and you will be found out. And I'm kind of like sitting back here and watching all that's going on in front of me in Wales politically, and like many of us who've been working in this area for many years, we're all phoning each other up and saying, what on earth are they thinking? Why are they doing it? I had private conversations with people who begged me, said, Rich, please don't stand candidates. They didn't have to tell me that. I already decided with Ben, we'd spoke to Ben already and decided it was not in the best interest of the party, rather to work towards the council elections in 2027. By then we'd have, maybe 5, 10, 15,000 members in Wales. We'd have money in the bank. The name advanced, the branding would be well known. We'd be more established and in a stronger position to field candidates. Right now, it is not. It is batshit crazy bonkers.
Right, I just want to say something as well. That Ben was actually the narrative always, but that we'd reached over 40,000. And recently I've heard him and watched him say we are just under 40,000. So what I do know is that there's just been breaking news, a Rupert report, who has said that they have now reached the 100,000 mark. There are now 100,000 members. Now that's only in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks.
Well, they
and 100,000.
They had about 30,000 just as a think tank first, didn't they? Then he became a political party. Then the numbers shot up. But they've had exponential growth. You know what I mean?
And that's my point. So the growth is there, and you have to look at what people are wanting. You have to look at why people are jumping from advanced to Rupert. Some people don't like Rupert's ethics. Some people don't like the fact that he's got a young team around him, and it just feels slightly...
we don't care.
Yeah, we don't. But the point is, I'm actually carrying on with a conversation that they're all accusing them of being Nazis, and it's pretty harsh, irrespective of what I believe, right? What I believe is what I believe, and that's not for me to put that on you. But what I will say is that the 40,000 or below 40,000 now is indicative when you compare it to the 100,000 of what people want. And people want a leader. They want somebody strong with a backbone. And actually, yesterday we had some news that one of the college members, Paul Thorpe, left. So have a listen to this.
The very difficult decision to step away from any party political bias. And I have resigned my position from Advance UK and indeed its college. And this is not a reflection on Ben, the party, or any of the truly remarkable and wonderful people.
I think, that was a really brave move.
Yeah.
And to be honest, look, he hasn't said anything to us. We don't know. We did reach out to him.
He's a friend.
We did say to him, look, this is really, really brave. This is really sad. That must have been a really hard decision for you. And I have to say, all due respect to him, but isn't it weird that he did it the day after, the day that we got the results? It was the day that the results came out. So maybe that was his clinching point of saying, actually, I'm done. I'm out. I don't know. We don't know.
It's the whole premature thing of standing in elections when you're not party ready, right? Right. So they wanted 100 members of the college. They have about 15 or so on their website, right?
12.
Not on the website, there's 15, but 12 of the case might be, and some of them are resigning. But they wanted 100 in the college. Who are the board of directors? Who's the executive? There's nothing on the website, nothing at all. Now, this is from someone who believes in what Advance UK is set up to do, but unfortunately, like many people, they feel they've been duped, and I don't like being felt I've been duped, because I think I'm a bit wiser up here. Well, I'm not really. She knows how to lie. I'm the new rogue.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, common sense. So.
Somebody's put, if Richard had an ego, he would have stayed at the party, and I'm admitting that as a member of AUK. Exactly.
Yeah. I think going back to Paul's resignation, I was out seeing him in February. This is no influence on him resigning, by the way. And we talked a lot actually about Advance UK. And of course, he believed in it passionately. He was like, really up for it. But of course, that by-election has cost, I think, has cost the party dearly, because what it's revealed is this: if they do the same here in Wales.
Can I just say a massive thank you again? Our lovely, lovely original Joe Blogs has just gifted 20 Richie and Rogue and Filtered memberships. Thank you so much for doing that. I don't know how that works,
because
I don't know how it works.
So if you get a message here off our lovely friend here, just click on it and you can become a member for free. You just purchase them.
You get a month free.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all your support.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah.
We appreciate it. So click on it and then you can become a member.
Yeah. So going back to the Gorton and Denton result, right? It reveals to us what it's a pattern of how things play out politically, and it's the direction of travel. So what will happen here in Wales is exactly the same. The Plaids will be like the Greens, okay? And what will happen is a lot of people are going to be very disappointed, very let down. Advance UK are going to they're going to have egg on their face. So going into future elections, people are going to go, what's the point in voting for Advance? It's a waste of time. They can't even get 5% of the vote share. Like literally, you can't. To get an elected member under the hot system, which I know about, which Peter doesn't seem to understand completely, if I'm completely honest, it's similar to the PR system, right? Proportional representation here in Wales. You have to have between 12 and 15% of the vote share of total number of votes counted across the party, across the constituencies. That's how it works, for those of you who don't understand. Advance UK are polling at 0.
Hang on, somebody's just informed us. AI states Advance UK Wales is overwhelmingly likely to poll between 0.1% and 1% in most constituencies and win 0 seats.
And I'm not AI. I just know. Yeah, going through the comments.
Yeah, I'm just, somebody has put here, I think the result from Thursday and the fact that Captain Oink beat Nick will put people off this time. Well, it certainly has him. So Fran, I think if I hold my nose and vote Reform, but I find everything will change when ex-Reformers join.
Yeah, I think what you find is that in Reform, if they win the Senate elections and hopefully keep Plaid out, if that happens, then of course they'll be in government for 5 years. And what you do is then you prepare yourself for the next Senate elections, where the party will be strong enough, it'll have the right policies in place and everything else. Nick Buckley was great because he campaigned on local issues, not national issues, which I think was important, whereas Matt Goodwin did it on national issues, right? But I think here in Wales, politically, as everybody knows who lives here, it's completely different. People have not heard of Advance. More people have heard of Rupert Lowe in Wales than they have at Advance UK. In fact, a poll was done recently, and he was polling at this, 7% or something, voting intentions here in Wales. And it wasn't even a party at the time, it was just his name as an MP.
But who should people in South Wales vote for? The commies in charge there need to be deposed. Reform.
You're going to have to vote Reform. Listen, I've done some previous interviews. I did not leave Reform because Nigel Farage treated me badly. I was not burnt by them. I wasn't hurt by them. I left because I had some problems with the way the party was dealing with certain people. For example, Zia Youssef bought his chairmanship for £200,000. They threw Tommy Robertson under the bus, and the way that they treated, funnily enough, Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe. That's why I left, and that's on record, right? So I didn't leave because I was hurt by Nigel. But my point is this: Advance comes along. I see it as an opportunity to save Wales. Finally, a party that wants to get rid of the SNF. By the way, it wants to get rid of the SNF. So while Pete's talking about having a wage in there, we want to get rid of it, right? Because it's an overbloated and they're overpaid and it's just an expense we don't need. When has more politicians ever been the answer? They're the ones who got us in the mess in the first place. We need less of them, less civil service, less quangos, less of these NGOs and everything else. Welsh media is owned by the Welsh government. They're the propaganda arm of the Welsh government, and they're all left-wing in this country. But I'm hoping that's going to change in the months to come.
See, the thing is, people are saying, for your children's safety and your country's safety, vote Restore. Because, right, it's not actually on the Electoral Commission yet, is it?
No, they're not standing in Wales anyway.
Exactly. So they're not standing yet.
No, so that's not an option. But yeah, I mean, obviously you can vote wherever you want to, but I think Restore at the moment are doing really, really well. And that's because Rupert Lowe speaks everybody's language. He's saying what people want, not just want to hear, he's saying it as it is. And when people attack him, he says, I don't care. Deport them. Shouldn't be here. If you can't speak English, deport them. And people are like,
So look, Helen's put here that she still supports Ben, and obviously there's things going wrong, but she still believes that Ben's vision is a good one. Now, you know, like you said,
There's nothing wrong with it. Perfect.
but it's the way that it's being done. And then she also goes on to say that she's aware of stuff going on in the background which are designed to destroy Advance. Don't think that's the case. I understand what you're saying and I can see why you're saying it, but what I will say is actually in-house was a problem, a huge problem too. So that's part of the issue for us. When a party loses to the Monster Raving Party, you know that the party is going nowhere. And then somebody's put, what is the point in voting, full stop? Now, actually, we have to vote, because if you want to keep that vote, right, is actually like gold dust. We have to treat it as a really, really expensive deposit, because I am depositing into the country. I am depositing as to whom I want to stand to protect us as the people. And strategically and tactically right now, it has to be reform. I don't want that. It's not where I'm at. I'm not even supporting anybody politically at the moment. I am just staying neutral because I am watching and waiting and just seeing how things unfold. But what I do know is that whilst you are neutral and you do not have an allegiance to a party, it is easier to be more strategic, and it is easier to be more open to voting for the party that is going to protect and preserve the country. So why are we not breaking down the barrier of an allegiance and a loyalty to a said person who is leading the party because you like the way they speak, you think they're articulate, they think they're quite cute, and you have a little asphyxiation with the person? This is not aimed at you, Helen. This is anybody in general that has a love for Ben or has a love for Rupert.
Oh, Nigel Farage.
Yeah, anybody. We have to stand in a neutral point and a position so that you can actually look at things in a more balanced way, because there becomes imbalance when you're so loyal and you're loyally, you're
blind.
Yeah. So you have to do it on a neutral level to what is best for the country. Plaid is another Greens. Plaid is another Greens in Wales, and we cannot have another Gordon and Denton that has just happened here, because we have our children in Wales being taught that it's okay to become transgender or explore it from the age of 3, to masturbate at the age of 3, and to teach them the whole left wokeism in our schooling. No. We cannot have them. I need to look after my children and my grandchildren, and Wales is different to England. So people that are going, well, you shouldn't be doing like this and you should be doing like, please come live here and then tell us who you'd vote for. Because I know for one thing, you would not be voting for Advance because A, it hasn't got a chance, and then actually putting that in a position, you're getting other votes that will go to that, and then actually increase Plaid's chance. Just don't get me started. I'm getting angry like you now.
Wow. What you said is true. Now, I put a tweet out. I said this. Advance UK should seriously reconsider standing candidates in Wales at this stage. First and foremost, they lack any meaningful profile here in Wales. Political parties cannot simply appear on a ballot and expect voters to engage. Building credibility requires groundwork, local activists, recognisable spokespersons, policy relevant to Welsh issues, and sustained community presence, which is what we were doing. We mentioned that earlier. At present, Advance UK has none of these in Wales. Secondly, their recent performance in the Manchester by-election underlines the scale of the challenge. The result demonstrated limited organisational strength and negligible voter traction, even in an English urban setting. If the party struggles to gain visibility and votes there, it is difficult to see how it could perform better in Wales, where political dynamics, identity and party competition are distinct and well established. That's what I put out. And I actually messaged Ben. And I did on one of his posts that he put out there, and not got a reply, but that's fine.
Somebody's put here, 31% of people in Wales want to abolish the Senedd, reform doesn't. Should people vote for abolish, or should abolish not stand?
Well, all I can say is abolish have not declared whether they're standing yet or not, so we can't comment on that.
But if they did?
If they did, I mean, I stood for them. I stood for abolish for the Senedd Party. I stood for them. Because I believe...
should if they were to stand, would you then say for people to vote for abolish or reform?
No, because abolish, again, they're like Advance. They're more well known in Wales than Advance are, but the problem is they'll take votes away from reform. So if you want to keep Plaid out, you've got to go with the only party that can beat them. You've got to vote for reform. So as simple as that.
It's horrible, isn't it?
It is.
Because you'd want to vote for abolish because you absolutely agree with everything. But then that's 31%.
But you're saying Advance UK also believes in abolishing the Welsh Assembly, but you can't do it because it's a long-term project, right? So you have to get elected first into the Senedd, then cover a referendum. That's going to be accepted by Westminster. It's going to take 10 to 15 years. People want things instantly. These take time to build. As I mentioned in the tweet I posted out there, to build up credibility, you have to have activists, grassroots people on the ground, not people sending in an email. I want to stand as a candidate. What do you know about Wales then? What do you know about politics here in Wales?
What's it called?
What's that?
When you have to do the hustings.
Yeah, hustings, yeah.
So explain the hustings.
Well, hustings is just a debate where those who are standing as candidates will have to debate one another on issues and what they would deliver if they were elected as an MS to the Senedd. And so you have to stand in front of people. You have to face the media. You have to speak to BBC Wales, right? Adrian Masters, ITV Wales. You have to speak to S4C, Siarad Cymraeg. I had to do it in Welsh. I struggled a little bit because my Welsh is not as good as it used to be. And you have to do those things. So you can't just think, well, I'm going to become a candidate. I'm going to get a 79 grand package, and I'm going to be. Listen, politics is a dirty, dirty game. You've got to have thick skin, but you need to have some political nuance about. You need to know what's going on politically. Because, yeah, you'll have a team of staff around you, but what do you know about the Welsh economy? What do you know about the taxation system here in Wales? What do you know? What are Welsh Labour's policies when it comes to the tourism tax, when it comes to industries here in Wales, on infrastructure, on public services, on public health? What do you know? And you say, well, I don't really know much. All I know is they've changed the speed limit to 20 miles an hour. What? Mate, I'm sorry. You need to know more than just that, right? That's clearly obvious. The extension to the Senedd to 96 members, the cost of that's been and the burden to the people of Wales as well. £4.2 million to have it refurbished. Absolutely ridiculous. So there's a lot of issues around this that really, quite clearly, people are completely blind to. And, I just think it's a fantasy.
So Helen's answering Vienna, because Vienna has just said that she basically saw the story about the £5,000 being given back to Ben, and she left Advance, and so she's with Restore. Helen's saying, Vienna, the way that the story was leaked and announced was designed to do exactly that. Nobody is seeing the dirty tactics. Well, actually, again, I was a bit shocked. I was a bit shocked when I saw it, and I wanted to investigate properly. Had conversations with Basil the Great, had conversations with a few other people and a few other MPs, and that actually goes further than dirty tactics, actually. And as kind and as lovely Ben is, he did ask, not directly, he was offered for his money to be given back, and he said, actually, whilst you're there, so look, if I say to you, do you want your money back, and then you say nothing, then you are basically still saying, actually, I don't really want my money back. If I say to you, do you want your money back? Have a think about it, then let me know. Then later on, you come back to me and say, actually, yes, I would. At your request, you said I can ask for it. So I actually want my money back, right? You've just asked for it back because it's been offered. So even though it's been offered, you go to a restaurant, you don't like the food. They say to you, okay, sorry to hear that your food was crap. What can I do? Can I give you a new plate of food, or do you want your money back? New plate of food is actually getting that information, because Ben was complaining about what was actually happening, right? He was saying, I'm not getting information. I'm not actually getting, sort of updates. I need to know what's going on. I've invested 5,000 into this inquiry. Therefore, I have a right to know what's happening. And that's fine. That absolutely is right. But it's like going to a restaurant and complaining about the food. And what you're saying is, right, okay, I can give you a new plate of food. Are you happy with that? Which means I will give you more information. I will actually give you your updates, Ben. So please hush, right? The next part is then actually, if I then choose somebody that's complained about my food, and I say, actually, I don't want a plate of food because you've put me off. You've put me off your food. I don't want it. It was gross. So what I would like now is my money back. That was the freedom of choice and the freedom of will in asking for what he would like back. He took away £5,000 from a rape inquiry where women and children, and this is close to my heart, really close to my heart, have suffered, have been silenced, have been discarded, have been abandoned, pushed to the side because the system does not work for them. And to have somebody that has offered money, and because you're not getting updates and you're slamming your feet on the floor and asking for more updates, and then you're asking for your money back, I'm afraid that does not bode well with me at all.
Yeah, I think Ben's on record saying as well, national inquiries don't work. He's said that from day one. Of course, what Rupert Lowe has done has been absolutely exceptional. And I think he is one of the finest MPs this country has got. And he would make a fine Prime Minister one day, I'm sure of that, Rogue. So we're going to round this up. Our hour's nearly up, Rogue.
Yeah, I just want to read this actually.
Might be one more clips to play as well.
Yeah, the dirty tactics was Ben announcing a merger as though it was all tickety-boo between him and Rupert.
There was never any merger,
given
was
the
there?
impression that Rupert was ignoring him. Right, Vienna, I absolutely agree. So let me explain really, really quickly. And I need to do this once more because we've had conversations with Rupert's team, and this is how it goes, right?
Are we going to bring it back to Wales then after that? Yeah, because we need to finish off and tell people what we think, my love. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say this or not?
Yeah. No, I'm just asking because I thought we were going to finish off on this section. That's all.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm gonna answer this question.
Well, you're better at talking. Go on, you might do.
I'm not.
You
But
are.
listen. So, in the beginning, there was discussion. There was a discussion between Rupert and Ben. Rupert wanted to have a think tank and a movement and a pressure group, right? Which became Restore Britain. And Ben wanted to do a party. Rupert said, no, I'm not going to have a party. I'm not going to join a party. Don't want to do that. I want to do my own thing. And Ben went ahead and carried on and pursued Advance UK, which was the Integrity Party with Richard Shaw and Shoab, and I think there are a few others.
Yeah.
So Richard Shaw, handed over to Ben the Integrity Party. Rupert, we were told, was going to come along and be part of Advance. That's one of the reasons why I joined. I can't speak for you, but for me, that's one of the reasons why I joined, because I felt that Ben was very kind, very gentle, very open, very transparent, very, very loving to people. He was just always like personable and just a good guy. And with Rupert's fire, I felt that it would be a formidable team. Therefore, I joined. But I had been roped in under a disillusionment. It was false. That was never going to be the case. So how can I say, this is how it's like? Rich, I'd like to be in a relationship with you. And then you tell me, no,
I couldn't afford it.
Shut up. Just listen.
Okay.
You would say, no, sorry, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, but maybe I'll think about it. And in time, I might get with you. I go off to my friends and I say, oh, guess what? Me and Richie are going to get together. Me and Richie are going to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh my gosh, me and Richie. And I'm going to just basically just wait until that happens because I'm just so excited. I'm going to plan my marriage. I'm going to plan everything. It's going to look so amazing. And then Richie turns around and says, no, I'm not actually gonna get with you or marry you. And then I'm like to everybody else over here, oh, but hang on a minute, thank you for all coming and accepting my invite to the wedding that we're gonna have, but would you just like to think about coming to the wedding and just being there? You've got to understand, it's like absurd. It is absolutely absurd. You cannot say you're going to do something when somebody has said they're not going to do it, then put the onus on that person by saying you have not turned up to these people to save face. It's all about showing face.
Absolutely right. Rogue, that's wonderfully put. I couldn't pull up better myself. I did say you could speak in, didn't I?
Oh, shut up. Go on.
You did. You're brilliant. Now, so, I mean, look, the reason why we've done what we've done today is because we need the right of reply. Okay. When people are posting stuff on social media and online, this is our platform. And of course, we check the facts and figures and everything else. We have a research team that work for us very hard in the background here as well to put this stuff together. We have just revealed to you some of the things that have been said in respect to the new leader here in Wales and what they intend to do with Advance UK and standing candidates. I want to make this very clear. I've got skin in this game because I've got children. You may have children. You may not have children. You might be planning to have children if the government lets you. But for the sake of the country, put your ego down and do what is best for the people of Wales. And if that means voting for a party that you despise, but it keeps a party out that would ruin this country, then surely you would put your ego to one side and vote for a party that would stop Plaid Cymru getting into power. Because the moment they get into power, mark my words, this country will be unrecognizable within 3 to 5 years. You think Labour are bad in Westminster now with Keir Starmer. What Plaid would do to this country would be far, far, far worse. So I urge you, please consider carefully, prayerfully, sensibly, who it is you should vote for. And for those of you that believe in Advance UK, God bless you. For those of you who believe in reform, God bless you. The Welsh Conservatives, God bless you.
Sound like Peter Possum.
The Lib Dems, well, okay, Jane Dodds is only one of them in the Senate. There's only ever one, and she gets in the PR anyway. And of course, to those that are standing as independents in their constituencies, good luck to all of you, because I know how much courage it takes to stand. But please, I would urge Advance UK. Ben, I've texted you, I've messaged you, and you've not responded. That's fine. I appreciate that. You've got a lot on your plate, but I just don't understand why you were not reeling this guy in and saying, listen, I think it's too early, too premature to be standing candidates. If it's just to get on TV, just to get on podcasts, then I think you're missing it by a million miles, because it begins with grassroots. It begins with the people that we were meeting up and down the country. Hundreds of members in total. You didn't get to see all of it, where we had to fight for venues because we were being cancelled because of our connections to being a far-right party. But we pushed on, we persevered, and our team sacrificed and gave so much so that we could connect with our members. And the whole plan was, 10 years in the making, was to build up the party from the ground up. Remember, that's how democracy really works, not having diktats from above, from people who are having people whispering in their ear, telling them what they should and shouldn't do. Maybe our faces didn't fit.
Maybe we're too outspoken. Maybe we're too unfiltered.
Maybe my hair's too long. Maybe your nose ring isn't right.
Oh, or maybe my intro on my show with you is too inappropriate.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah. Apparently so. I think it was hot.
So did many people. And thank you to Liam Tuff's cousin for doing that for me.
Yeah, thank you ever so much, mate. Appreciate that. So, folks, listen. We're going to round this up. We're going to do a members-only section very soon. We can't do it today, but I think we're going to schedule that in soon. We need to do a member. So if you are not a member, please join as a member. Some of you have had free gifts as a member, so join. And on our members only, we say a lot more.
We do indeed.
We said a lot on you, right? But we'll say a lot more. You can ask questions, come on as well on the panel, and we can have closer personal interaction with one another. Please consider a super chat to support the channel as well. And there's a little dollar sign at the bottom of your screen. Just press that. You can give £2 wherever, just to support us, because of course we don't get paid to do this. So every donation helps to keep this show on the road, as they say. So thank you. Thank you to all of our subscribers as well. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe. All our platforms as well. Rogue is at Rogue Unfiltered on X. And we're here on YouTube and Facebook as well. So please do follow us. Engage with us, because we want to talk to you and meet you. And we've got some exciting things we're involved in, actually, coming up on the 25th of April. I want to let you know that the Together Association are holding a massive rally outside the Senedd on the 25th of April against digital ID and net zero, and of course our farmers. Okay, so on the 25th of April outside the Senedd, we're going to be in attendance there. We're going to be there, Rogue, supporting them, aren't we? We're going to be there with thousands of people. Some of you will recall in 2021, many people turned up against vaccine passports. It was an amazing time, and many of you, I'm hoping, are going to be there again to say no to the government imposing digital ID on babies and us and businesses, although some of it's gone through. No to the net zero madness that's making people poorer, and of course attacking our farmers, because that is disgraceful, because we need food security, and our farmers are the backbone of this country, as Gareth Wyn-Jones always reminds us.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody's just put, Ben should never have let you two go. The truth is, I don't think it was Ben. I actually think it was the national director. And I think he understood what was going on. Ben was aware of what was going on, but I'm afraid to say there is no control.
Well, it's the administrative and structural management, and I think it lacks, real leadership. And I think that's, for me, I'm sad. If I'm honest, I'm sad. Not for me. I am sad, not for me, but I'm sad because I know what we could have done here in Wales, bro.
We had vision, we had passion, and it was all under the banner of Advance UK. We wanted for Advance UK to succeed.
Absolutely.
We felt that actually what we were bringing was going to invest into this country, and we felt that every member would have a resonance of appreciation and affiliation to what was being said. So that resonation of the desires, the policies, everything that would speak into somebody's heart here. You two are the only faces that I recognise in Welsh politics besides the Val crew.
No. Do you know what you're saying that, Rog, as well? You might not know this, folks, right? But on my computer here, we've got a whole raft of policies that we were developing and writing up for Wales for a manifesto. Not for this elections, obviously. And we were looking at everything from the economy to education to health. Our team were building policy, right, development, ready. So should there be a by-election, let's say Reform do get in or Plaid, whatever, there's a by-election in Wales and it's the right time, we have the members, the money, and everything's been done correctly, the structure's right, the messaging is right, then we stand a chance. But it is a complete fantasy. And I'm afraid that the leader for Wales right now is living in cloud cuckoo land, because you're going to win 0 seats in the Senate elections and you're going to look like an idiot and people are going to be very disappointed, and it's going to ruin Advance UK's chances in the future in further elections.
Helen, please go ahead. Please message me, and don't ever let anything get you down. Always speak up and speak out. We believe in truth. We believe in hearing people's thoughts. We believe in everybody exposing. Like, there are lots of rumors going around about us at the moment, and it's absolute bullshit. You know, we would tell you, we would say, okay, that happened. No, that didn't happen. Yes, it did happen, but not quite like it's being said. And that's really, really important, that you understand that we will say it as it is, you know, and people need to stop spreading shit. Stop spreading rumours, stop spreading your own perspective, stop spreading lies when you haven't been privy party to anything in our conversations or even how we were working. We had a team around us. We had a beautiful, beautiful team of people, volunteers, who stood with us and have literally walked the whole journey with us.
We paid these officers for Advance.
Yeah.
We paid them. I just want to go on to this quickly a minute. I just want to remind people, okay, once again, okay, I just want to remind people, Rogue. These are, sorry, it's the wrong one. My apologies. Stop sharing that. Sorry, my apologies. I want to show you the polling here in Wales. The likelihood of, I've lost it now, it's gone. The likelihood of Advance winning here in Wales is almost non-existent. And I wish people would really wake up. What you need to be doing is you need to be preparing for council elections, for building up towards a general election. That's where we need to focus our energy and time on, because what will happen in Wales will be a repeat of what happened in Manchester. Good people like Nick Buckley. He's a good man. And look what's happened now. He's going to be ridiculed. He's going to be mocked. You know, so many things. Now, I know Nick is big enough to take it. You know, he's a lovely guy. But there are a lot of people that aren't quite thick-skinned as Nick, because he's been doing it for a long time. And if you're new to this game and you put your name forward as a candidate and you stand in a constituency, mark my words, it's not just about putting your name on a ballot paper, okay? It is hard. It costs a lot of money, of your own money. The party doesn't have that much money. In fact, I've heard there's more money going out than there is coming in.
That's quite sad. Can I just say we've got a new member? Woo! Thank you, Joe. You've become a member. So you get to see after the show.
Yeah.
I just want to say...
We have no super chats today, but that's all right. It doesn't matter.
As I said, so this is Ray. As I said, to fuck the rumours, they have come and stuck. And this is what Helen is saying, that she's bitten her tongue because she's heard rumours, I guess. Mm-hmm. She's heard rumours. There's things that are being said about us, and she wants to either expose it or she wants to challenge. Well, do either. Like, challenge us. But just know, this is who we are.
Yeah.
We say what we say. And people don't like the truth, because when you tell the truth, it exposes things. And then if we go to this, I just have to go back to this because I think it's really, really, really important. Let's go to this.
Keep truth in the centre of the party. I don't know where you can go wrong.
Well, I don't. But that's why you have to have truthful people.
Yeah.
Right? And people that aren't truthful are removed.
True.
And we get other people into place that will be truthful, they'll be honest, they will deal with the people properly, you know, and not lie to them and not cheat them. They've got to be truthful. And when they don't know, and I can honestly say there's a lot I don't know, you have to put your hand up and go, I don't know.
Right.
Okay, so thank you for that advice. And yeah, I mean, the truthful people, he should probably shut the door on the way out. So let's go back to Wales, because this is where we round down and we just say how much we love Wales.
Yeah. People have asked, thank you ever so much for a super chat.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you,
we
Victoria.
really appreciate that.
Appreciate that. All the support. There's another one here. There's another one from Andy, I think. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you,
Andy.
so much.
Thank you for that. For the tea and coffee.
Friends, thank you.
Thank you.
I need a hot chocolate now.
You love your hot chocolate, don't you? But I think for us, the whole idea of doing what we're doing with the Richie and Rogue show unfiltered is because we want to tell people the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, right? Even if it's uncomfortable. And so, you know, we're working alongside other media outlets. Voice of Wales are friends of ours. They do the same. They expose. They've been working in Wales doing this for 15 years. And I want to say this to Dan and Stan and the team. Thank you for holding politicians to account. The times that you confronted Mark Drakeford when he was ruining Wales. You were the guys on the ground. You were the guys that stood with the people in Stradey Park Hotel. I wasn't living in Llanelli then, so I know some people say, well, yeah, I was miles away. But my point is this: they stood with them, right? And they overturned government decision to get asylum seekers out of that hotel. Okay, and they're not funded. They get no money at all. They're not government funded like left-wing media is, like the Welsh media, like Nation Cymru or Nation Cymru, we're going to call them. All those guys, right? Wales Online, they're all paid by the Welsh government through different means to the National Book Council of Wales, right? Millions of pounds. Channels like ours, or on the right side of politics, we're all independent, so we can speak our minds freely. We're not owned by anybody. We're not paid by anybody. And so when people say, well, you're grifters, if you knew, this costs us more than us making money. We're not grifters at all. I mean, we do this like a full-time job, sacrificially, voluntarily, because we want to build a community of people like you to tell you the truth and what's best for the country of Wales. Not that we've got all the answers. You have as well. This is why we have a team. They feed into us as well, Rogue, and tell us.
We've got an incredible team who actually help us put together our shows. They are volunteers. They do it out of love because they know that we don't get paid. And so, you know, on that premise, I really, really get tired of being called a grifter.
Yeah,
it's just, look, we just want to tell the truth and speak the truth and hold people in power to account. I just want to say here, Google the map for mosques in the UK. Now look at Wales on that map. And if you want to keep it like that, you have to reluctantly vote for reform until Restore can get going next time. And that, my friend, is a massive high five from me. Absolutely massive high five, because it's true.
That's how we done them, haven't we? Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go down to got to go. Ray's got to go. A good team. So Voice of Wales are a good team. Absolutely. Let's have a look. I grift for you, lol. That's Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Helen, I just want to quickly go back to something that you just said as well. And this is actually...
Let's just check in breaking while you do that, love.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing, because I think it's really important that you know. Okay, so it says here, it means a lot in a time. So obviously Hans has said something to you. It means a lot in a time when the abuse I've been getting for not following the herd has been horrible. Look, there is no nasty from us. No. We support you in whatever. And we've always said to people, when people have come to us and said, we're not comfortable with advance, we want to go, we've always said, go with your gut. Go with your gut. And that is so important. Go with your gut. We'll never tell anybody what to do. We can tell our truth. You can listen to our truth. You can see things for yourself. We can expose things that then resonate with you and make sense to you. But not one part of us is telling you what to do, because we like Ben. We actually like Ben. We don't believe...
We'd love him to succeed, wouldn't we?
We don't believe that the way he's been kind of having little tantrums, as people are calling it lately, you know, and that the spat between him and Rupert online is healthy. It's not. It's actually quite embarrassing. It needs to all take place behind closed doors.
But the problem is they tried that. You know, we tried it. And there comes a point where you have to break that silence because you leave a vacuum, don't you?
What I am going to say is this. Ben is saying that Rupert is not answering him, but Ben does the same to other people. So karma is a bitch. And unfortunately, that karma is going to keep on coming back round until, Ben, you stand up and start facing things head on. Then you will get back what you give out. And unfortunately, we like you. We want you to succeed. But the way it's going, the way that you're treating other people, and you're still receiving that same treatment, I'm afraid that cycle's never going to ever stop until you stop, look in the mirror, reflect, and then recognize the patterns.
Yeah, lots of messages coming in as well from people. So thank you for your support, guys. We really appreciate it. Every one of you, to our subscribers as well. If you haven't subscribed yet and you've just come across our channel, please do so. We've got a lot of things coming up the next few weeks. On Sunday, we have guests on the show. Bro, Sunday we have Joak, who is our amazing private investigator. He has done a lot of really important research into a lot of the grooming gangs, the rape, that's you have to say that on TikTok. You have to say it on TikTok. The rape gangs, and he Caldy Islands as well.
Yeah, and Caldy Islands, we did a special on that. Now he's coming back on, and Helen, I know that you would actually like to see what we've got tomorrow. So 8 o'clock tomorrow, Joak, and we also have a guy that's written a book called Raphael, and the book is about his abuse and how he's overcome the abuse. So it's really, really important. You jump on tomorrow at 8 p.m. to have a listen and see what is going on, apart from Restore and Advance at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more comments on the show than Roger's here.
Lovely being part of the show. I have to go, guys. Have a great Saturday all. Richie and Rogue, see you Sunday, and then look forward to Tuesday. Take care, everyone. That's amazing. Nikki's saying, I would rather be a lone wolf than a sheep. Jake is saying, I'm thinking of making this week's Substack a comparison between ethnic and civic nationalism. I think that's a good one to actually go through.
Oh, yeah. We got a Substack as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we have got a Substack.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you, Jake.
check that out as well. Substack's on our website. If you go to richieandrogue.com, all the links to our social media and stuff is on there as well. That Nikki and the team are working hard on behind the scenes. And we couldn't do what we do without them, could we?
And to end it, I think it says, no, I do not like Ben. He needs to explain his reprehensible actions. The buck stops with the commander. And that's probably where part of the issues are laying.
Yeah, well, we've said that on me from the start, and I'm looking at the back. Yeah, we're okay with time. Do you want to stay on for a bit longer?
No.
You done?
No.
Okay, I think we're done there, folks. The boss has spoken. Everyone trying to get behind it. Yeah, absolutely. We want people tonight, Claire. We certainly do. But obviously, when you got egos, I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. We've done all these, have we? Take care, everyone. Thank you ever so much. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Jake, as well. And we'll be back tomorrow night at the usual time of 8 p.m. and on Tuesday and Wednesdays as well. Don't forget all our schedules on the website. We love you all.
Thank you for being part of our family.
Is a country,
not a region.
Bye for now.